Grab your popcorn and snacks. Find a comfy spot, take a seat or lie down, and let me transport you to a place of fantasy, ghost stories, ancient legends, odd creatures, alien encounters, and other magical topics. You may even decide to join the conversation. From faraway lands to your own backyard, with a small dash of pixie dust, turn out the lights and open your minds. The journey is about to begin. Hey, welcome. And it's a nice Thursday evening here in Northern California as I'm moving some stuff around here. Okay, pushing buttons. At least I got my buttons pushed right. Welcome. My name is Charlotte. I'm going to be your host for the next hour or so. And we've got a great show lined up for you tonight. I am also the owner of the California Haunts Paranormal Investigation Team at www.californiahaunts.org, and our site is undergoing a lot of updates, so you're going to be seeing a new site coming up here in the next couple months. We have a huge site, so you can still go over there and check things out, though, and see what we do and how we do it. Anyway, we have investigators located up and down the state of California, Oregon, Washington, and Nevada, and Hawaii. But anyway, welcome tonight. If anybody, has wondered, a lot of astrology out there, a lot of astrology readings, number readings. Make sure my head's on straight. There we go. And the gentleman that we're going to have on tonight has come up with a technique where he not only reads your numbers, but he coincides your numbers with colors to see what the colors mean. You know how the color, when you look at chakras and stuff, you're looking at the color of the rainbow, how certain colors mean certain things. Well, he's taken that and he's applied that to the numbers of the letters in your first and last name to see how that coincides with how you are as a person and how your life is. So it's interesting. He did a reading on me a couple weeks ago, and it was pretty darn accurate. I was shocked. I wasn't sure if, how it was going to work or whatnot, but I was shocked. The other thing I want to say is I just saw this video today. I don't usually do this, but I'm going to share. Of a gentleman who had an alligator on his property in his front yard. And I saw it on Twitter. And he was only, I think it was like maybe 5 foot, maybe smaller, 6 foot smaller, whatever. Alligator. But I mean, there's enough alligator to bite somebody in the neighborhood. And the way he got out of his yard, and I know a lot of the people that love animals were kind of upset by the video. But in my opinion, if there's a lot of kids in the neighborhood, then you've got to get that thing out of your yard somehow. And so he got creative, and he got for everybody that has those recycle bins, for your trash, the green waste one is always the biggest one. So that's what he used. He used his green waste bin, and he kind of chased the alligator backwards until he was able to get the alligator to go into the bin, and that's how he captured it. And he tilted the bin up. So yeah, that was really impressive for me, and that's why I'm glad I live in California. I really am glad I live in California because I don't have to deal with alligators and stuff like that. Even though there's rattlesnakes here and whatnot, I don't have to deal with that. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of funny. So what I'm going to do is this is going to be a phone call interview. So I'm going to be calling our guest. What he has suggested, and this is kind of fun, is that if you are willing to give your first and last name in the chat room, he will do a reading for you on the air. So if you're willing to do that, then we can do that. Okay. So, and I know there's one person who's already in line to do that. But anyway, he does have a cold, so I'll warn you ahead of time. His throat's kind of scratchy. But his name is BP Greycastle, and he's going to be with us in about 3 minutes here. And you know what? I wish that I had dialing music for my cell phone, but I don't. So bear with me while I get him on the phone and I get the levels adjusted so we can do this tonight. So here we go. Hello, BP.
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
Okay, how are you?
I'm good. Your throat sounds a little better than what I heard earlier.
Yeah, I've had a little bit of a tough time with my voice the last couple of days, but I'll try my best.
I feel bad because you have a cold and we're doing this.
Okay.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you okay.
Okay, great. Let me make some sound adjustments here. Okay, can you tell me about yourself, sir?
Well, I started to get involved in fashion and color studies quite a long time ago. When I come back from Vietnam, I went to college. And there was this one gal that came in and told me about a metaphysical book on colors. And that got me more interested. I was taking the fashion design courses at college. And I just continued to read more philosophies on colors. And then I started to develop my own discoveries that I started noticing with people's names and colors. And so this is my third book on people's names and colors. We believe we've broken the human personality code, the human career code, the human romance code, how colors affect people, and a whole lot more than that.
Are these colors similar to the colors used, like, when a psychic looks at, like, different rainbow colors? Is that how you did it, or how did you get colors to base?
I can't explain that is the different colors have a character attribute, a spiritual color attribute that I say that's attuned to God's character attributes. If you happen to look good in a certain color, like there are certain colors we put on and we'll feel real good in and then they'll look good on us. And the reason is if you've cultivated that particular character attribute to that color, that'll be one of your favorite colors, color that looks good on and around you and feels very good, because you've cultivated that character attribute and you're in harmony with that color at that particular time.
Okay.
And as far as when psychics say they can see colors coming off of people, I believe that's just the colors that they're normally character traits that they're in and they're portraying. But mine's a lot more scientific, the way it works. The way my philosophy works is, okay, I'm working with facts and figures. Okay, scientists have proven without a doubt that all sounds give off a color wavelength vibration. Sir Isaac Newton aligned the colors to the diatonic scale, the musical scale. All your most famous musicians like Beethoven, Wagner, Scriven actually made an organ, and in the dark he plays certain notes to light up certain color tubes. Beethoven and Wagner said they could see colors coming off the notes they played. Anyway, the other part is scientists have proven without a doubt we have crystals in our inner ear.
Mm-hmm.
Just about all ear doctors know that. When someone has lost their balance and stuff like that, what it is the crystals in your ear kind of reverse to the other side, and they make them lay on a certain side of their body to make those crystals reverse back in this place they're supposed to be. So, okay, when is the only time you see a rainbow? When it rains out a little bit and you got that watery mist in the air,
right?
Or you take your garden hose and you spray it. Okay, it's because of the water and the crystals in the air. So we have the ability, when we call somebody's name, to send and also receive color wavelength vibrations. Now, the way it works is when you call somebody's name, my theory is it goes into your inner cochlea gland in your ear, which has 3 tuning bands that sends the color wavelength vibration into your thalamus gland in your brain, your grand central station gland in your brain. Then it sorts it out and it sends it to these 7 centers I'll talk about here in a little bit. Mm-hmm. And now these color wavelength vibrations are very subliminal. You can't really see them, but they are occurring. Okay, so depending on the letters tells me what one of your 7 centers are attuned to different colors. Once I know a person's name, I know all their character traits, both positive and negative, of all their 7 centers. Now, the 7 centers I'm talking about, the Eastern Hindu religion or philosophy call them the chakra centers. Now, if you look on a chart of your 7 major endocrine glands, they're in the same exact place. Now, I have 3 charts in my book. The third one is my chart, which I list as spiritual, mental, vocal, physical, control, emotional, and sexual. And you'll also see that these 7 chakra centers and 7 endocrine glands are in the same exact place. And it's rather amazing that the Hindu philosophy knew we even had these 7 centers. They didn't have the modern machines and medical equipment to determine where these 7 endocrine glands are. But they talk to them more on a spiritual level.
Mm-hmm.
Where you know, with your endocrine glands, it's just more of a medical. And now, the other big theory in my book is, okay, you will always see some people that operate mainly off their emotional center. They make all their decisions emotionally. There's other people that operate off their common sense intellectual center. They make most of their decisions more in a practical, common sense way. There's other people that are more creative and inventive. Some people are more physical, like athletes, weightlifters, people who like to run. So depending on which one of these 7 centers you operate off of, my theory is you're releasing hormones to that particular endocrine gland center, and you're becoming addicted to your own hormones. And that's why it's so hard for people to change their habits. And then I go on to say, you know, this is very important for somebody who has an addiction, like they smoke too much, or
Mm-hmm.
they alcoholic, or they eat too much, or whatever their addiction is. The problem is they're operating off their emotional center most of the time, and not their control center. It's very important to operate and start to cultivate your control centers, which is right down there to your adrenals, or what I call the control center, your power center, because that's what you need to do. You need to control this bad habit. So you have to start to repetitiously start to cultivate your control center. And I believe you're going to start releasing hormones in that center, and you're going to get addicted to that particular hormone secretion. And then you'll be able to overpower or control those bad habits. Now, the other major part of my theory in my book is I show that 95% or higher of your most famous people in practically every major career field, singers, lawyers, architects, physicists, you name it. Just there's so many different career fields I list, are because of these people's color-coded names. I was even looking at your name a little bit today.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a little bit surprising to me. But it seems like with your experience of the jobs you've had, it looks like you've been operating a lot off of your emotional center a lot of times, but also your intellectual too. I'll tell you a little bit more about it.
Sure.
A lot of your jobs you've had is like editor, photographer,
Yes.
video production.
Yes.
Those are all, if you look in my book, all things that turn to the purple spectrum. And you're a purple emotional person, unless you have a nickname I don't know about. Now, are you called your middle name a lot Sanchez?
No.
No? So it's pretty much Charlotte Koza, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you don't have any purple letters in your name, which are PIPs and Ws. So that makes it your emotional center color. And it's also the color of being very intuitive and psychic and stuff like that. Now, in my book, I show the purple spiritual people. If you look at the Nobel Peace Prize in Physics, from when it started in 1902 to present, you're going to see that 95% of those that won it are what I call purple spiritual people. People whose first or last names start with BIP or Ws. Einstein, Isaac Newton, the list goes on and on and on. And so purple people dominate a lot of fields. 90% of your most famous and successful writers are purple spiritual people. They dominate two or three other fields. But now, red people dominate the field of medicine, truth talk show hosts. Just look at all the truth talk show hosts that have, let me turn here and give you a little list. Johnny Carson, Jay Leno, Jimmy Fallon, the list goes on and on. I show that probably 90%, 95% of your most famous true talk shows are red spiritual people, because some of the character attributes in the red spectrum is to be truthful, try and find out the truth, and they make great talk show hosts. They make great guest musicians, doctors, health gurus. Most of your most famous health gurus are red spiritual people. They're very physically oriented, and they're very concerned about their physical health. So, believe me, people's names are the number one factor in determining what their career should be, who their romantic soulmate should be, what colors to decorate their homes to stimulate those seven centers, what colors to wear to stimulate their loved one, romantically or sexually. Also, the very important thing about this philosophy is using it with children. Mothers that are going to have babies, what they're going to name them, or children that are already born. When you know a person's character attributes, both positive and negative, you can help guide them into the positive traits for their career, their personality, getting along with other people, and get them away from the negative and get them off the path of the negative. And believe it or not, this is where it gets a little scary. Most of your most famous serial killers have a certain green letter in certain places. We're talking about Joseph Stalin, Hitler, Idi Amin. I have a whole list of them in my book. So it just shows you how important a person's name is. Einstein and Sir Isaac Newton would have never been great physicists if they would have had different names.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just very amazing how accurate this philosophy it is. There's no way I could have made this up, because these list of these people that I put in my book, and there's hundreds of names, I couldn't have made it up, because these people have been the most famous people in all these different career fields for hundreds of years, long before I came along. So it's all based on facts and figure and science. And but is there anything that you want to ask me that interests you and how people's names and colors work?
Well, yeah. How did you? I mean, obviously you did a lot of research to come to these conclusions. How did you go about doing that? Can you tell me that?
Well, like I say, I was studying different theories. One by Roland T. Hunt, and then Fiber Baron. These are all color experts. And Roland T. Hunt, he wrote a book, Seventh Key to Color, and he talked about colors being attuned to people's names. He didn't do it to the seven centers like I've done, and he didn't do it to the point of where I show where all these color-coded people dominate these career fields. But he got me started in looking at people's names and the different colored letters they have in their name. And then I started to see certain patterns occur over and over and over. And I started seeing, like for example, the most famous writers were purple spiritual people whose first or last name start with B, I, P, or W's. William Shakespeare. Mm-hmm. I probably got about 200 or 300 writers listed in the book, and which shows that, without a doubt, they are the most famous writers and physicists. So you name a field: lawyers, architects, I don't see how any, I really find it difficult when people look at all the lists in my book that they can say, well, this is maybe coincidence. No, 95%. Mm-mm. So we stand by what we're saying.
This is so interesting to me that you're able to do this. Because I remember I've had my regular number, my name dumped via numbers before, but it's been nothing like this. This is fascinating.
Yeah, this is. I don't mean to say anything negative about other ologies or isms.
Right.
You can put them all together if you want, and I'd be more than willing to put my philosophy up against all of them put together as far as facts and figures go. We honestly believe we've broken the human personality code.
Now,
human career code. Go ahead.
Where are your books available? I have a question in the chat room.
Well, you can. We just did another talk show. We totally sold out of our paperback. You can go on Amazon and get the ebook. Now, you can also go to my website, which is, or even easier yet, on a cell phone. You have to do it on a cell phone. Just dial pound 250. You got to hit the pound symbol and then 250. It'll ask you for the keywords. You say beautiful colors. Then it'll say, can we send you a text? And you say, yeah. And then it'll send you a text link to getting my book, my ebook on Amazon or my paperback through my website. Now, you can also, as far as my paperback goes, it's going to be a while because we're having to have new books printed out. We completely got wiped out. We sold so many books on the last show, so I'm having to have new ones printed up. So there'll be a little waiting time on the paperbacks, but that's the easiest way to get one of my either ebook or the paperback.
So you say you've got 3 books. What's the difference between the 3 books then?
Just new discoveries, more names. Maybe from my first book, I came up with the endocrine gland theory, where I say that if my philosophy is picked up by mainstream medical society, it'll create 2 new medical fields: endocrinology, psychology, and endocrinology psychiatry. And what I was talking about earlier, if somebody has a bad addiction, they go in and talk to psychologists, and if the psychologist learns my system, he says, okay, you're probably operating off this center, let's try and get in the habit of operating off this, and then maybe you start getting different hormones released, which you'll be able to control. Let me tell you one little thing that I don't want to forget.
Sure.
I'm sure we've all heard the news about Gabby Petito.
Sure.
Okay. Believe it or not, I don't have any doubt in my mind the number one reason why she has lost her life. One of the biggest factors is her name. She is very well recorded. We heard it all on the news that she had OCD, obsessive cleanliness disease, or what do they also call it, obsessive compulsive behavior.
Yes.
In my book, I show that people that are either flesh spectrum spiritual people whose first or last name start with A, H, O, or V, those are the flesh letter, or they have a lot of their 7 centers attuned to the flesh spectrum, are very susceptible. You got to excuse me, this voice is still biting me, to coming down with OCD. Because flesh people want things real neat, clean, and organized. They want harmony in their life. They actually make the best, I show in my book, the best musical composers because they have the ability to organize feelings and thoughts and music together to bring it out as harmony. And I show that probably 90% of your most famous musical arrangers are flesh spectrum spiritual people. But she happened to be, getting back to Gabby, she happened to be a double flesh mental person, and maybe even a little more important, she was a double control center person, her adrenal area there. And she had one other center attuned to flesh. So she had 3 centers attuned to the flesh spectrum, plus she was a double mental and a double control lot of message to be neat, clean, and organized, and it become obsessive. And I don't know how many people would listen to the argument she was having with her boyfriend about how she had to have everything real neat and clean, and she wouldn't let him in the van because there was some dirt on his thing. And she even said to the police, and it's very well known, she had OCD. So I think what happened, this is just a guess on my yeah, is, you know, she scratched his face and stuff like that, that's recorded and everything. I think she just kind of drove him a little crazy, and then maybe he hauled off and hit her or something, killed her. That's just, you know, a possibility.
Definitely.
But their arguments were definitely, a lot of them had to do with her OCD. So if she would have had a different name, that may not have happened.
Right.
So, you know, here's just another case of how important a person's name is and how it can affect them.
Well, you know what's fun with a book like yours, too, is to be able to go in and look at your name, you know, and do the numbers, and then look at some famous person and see how you compare, too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's what mainly my book is about, is to help people to find out all their, how colors, all the different colors affect them of their 7 centers, how they can use it for their career, decorating their home. If a woman wants to stimulate her husband romantically, what color to wear to stimulate him that way, or sexually, or any way you want. Helping children, once you know their name, to guide them down the right path, to become geniuses, excel in anything they do. It's a very valuable tool, very valuable.
Cool.
I'm amazed myself at going, like I say, all the way back to the Hindus knowing about these 7 centers, and they didn't have the tools and the medical devices, and it's just a really great tool if you want to use it.
Sure.
And going back to your name again,
okay.
I was looking at your name, and you, let me see, you have 7 elements of yellow in your name, and you have 5 flesh. And that's where I was first looking at your name. But then when I looked at your jobs, a lot of them had to do about the purple, your emotional. So I'm thinking that I've seen a lot of stuff you've done. So you're you're a very intellectual person. You can have a lot of good common sense and get things done in a practical way. But maybe you can tell me about your emotional experiences. How did you feel about the color purple over the years, or when you were growing up? Or
I'm actually, I was always like the color blue growing up.
You like the color blue?
Yeah. So that's part of purple on the spectrum, and a little bit, a little bit. So.
Okay, I missed something here. Don't accuse me of going back.
Okay.
Remember, I told you, I asked you whether you went by Sanchez at all.
Yeah.
That's your last name, right? Charlotte Sanchez Coza.
Right.
But you told me no, right?
I only do it for professional purposes.
Yeah, what I tell people, your middle name, if people calling you on a regular basis, you don't count it. You have to go by what you're phonetically hearing.
Right.
So I'm going to go back a little bit.
Okay.
And also, red and blue are your other 2 emotional center colors, because you don't have any red colors in letters in your name that sound a red now. C, J, Q, and X. That C in Charlotte does not sound a C. It sounds a F. And you don't have any blue letters in your first or last name, which are NGs or U's. When I analyzed your name earlier, I kind of thought, well, maybe she does go by Sanchez quite a bit. But now you're telling me no. So you have 3 emotional center colors: purple, blue, and red. So you just now did say that blue is one of your favorite colors. Huh?
Right. Yes.
Okay. Well, you're very soulful emotionally. What that tells me, blue is the color of being very soulful and stylish and cool and hip, and so you can probably have a very soulful emotional laugh from your belly area there, your pancreas energy gland area, or what the Eastern philosophies call the navel chakra.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah. Now also, I'm glad we brought this up. It's very important. People's emotional center colors, if they're going through a lot of stress, they should decorate a room or area in their emotional center colors. When they walk in that area or that room, the stress will just start to peel off of them. And they'll start to feel more at ease, relaxed, and content. I call the emotional center down there at your belly button area, pancreas, endocrine gland, your navel chakra. I call it the emotional center, the romantic center, the contentment center. A person is never ever going to be really contented till they find a good romantic soulmate. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes them feel contented, relaxed, and they're happy with who they're with. They're not worried that much about money or power or what. They're contented with their soulmate, the other person. And your emotional center is very important for relationships and for relaxing. And now the way I say in my book, though, is here's the key. Okay. And a lot of people don't like the word control. You have to control the other person emotionally. So what I use is another word, too. You have to have a very powerful effect on their emotions. And they have to do the same for you to make it like a double soulful connection. I analyzed Gabby Patino. She was in love with him, but he wasn't so much in love with her. He was more attracted to her on a physical level.
Sure.
Getting back to the way it works is your power color is before your syllable break in your name. Like in your name. Mm-hmm. What letter does it hang on before the syllable break in your first name?
H.
The R, Char, and then let, Charlotte.
Oh, okay.
How about
the R?
How about the word Danny?
That N, right?
Yeah, that's the N. Dan E.
Right.
So before your syllable breaks in your name is your power center color, your adrenals, your fight or flight. That's another very important center. When a person's, remember I told you Gabby Patino, her name, she was a double flesh power control adrenal person. She was so overwhelmed with wanting things real neat and clean that it overburdened, I believe, her adrenals. And our adrenals are what they call our fight or flight. If we feel like we can handle something, we'll say, hey, I can handle that. If we don't feel like we can handle it, we run away from it, or it overwhelms us. But getting back to the romantic part. So, whatever your power color is, if you meet somebody that is, let's say you're an orange power person, and you meet somebody that's an orange emotional person that doesn't have the orange letter in their name, you're going to have a very powerful controlling effect over that person's emotions. And let's say you happen to be, like we were talking, one of your emotional colors is the blue. You meet some...
Oh, I lost him. Hang on, let me get him back. Right in the middle of something cool, right? Let me call this guy. Let me call him back. Just no panic. We lost him. Let me get him back. Wow. Okay, let's try this again. My phone bill is paid, guys. Just hang on. How weird. Hello?
Hello, you've reached Dennis.
Oops.
Also
okay, just hang on. Give it a second. He must still be on trying to talk to me and I'm not here, right? Live radio, guys. This is how it is. And then as soon as we get done with me, I'm going to go ahead and let him do some readings on you guys in the chat room. So just bear with me.
Oh, you reached down.
It's going to be like that tonight. Just bear with me as soon as we get him back on. Oh, it's that kind of night. You know, you notice when I do these live ones like this with the phone, something inadvertently falls or something goes wrong. It never fails.
Oh, you reached in. And you've also reached name, color.
Okay. So let's see. I'm going to try his cell phone because he's got a cell phone. So let's try that. Let's see if he's got his cell phone with him. Hey, we got a ring this time. Oh. Okay.
Oh.
Hi, we lost you.
Oh, you lost it?
Yeah.
Oh. How about now?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, I think the cord come out of my phone a little bit. Are we okay?
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay. While I turn off this other phone, if you got any questions, go ahead and think of them.
Okay. Well, we actually have some. You ever have a feeling that it's just not meant to be? Here we go. Let me get back to him.
Hello, you've reached Dennis, and you've also reached name, colorology.
Bear with me, you guys. Honest, we're getting this. Here he is. We're back. Hello.
Can we finish on the cell phone?
If you want, yeah. You're good.
Okay, good. I don't know what happens.
That's no problem. It sounds good to me.
Okay. So I'm trying to think where we're at, and do you have anyone that wants their name?
I do. We're ready to do this. Are you ready to do this?
Yeah.
Okay, I got Marisa, M-A-R.
What did it start with? An M or an M?
With an M, as in monkey.
Marisa.
Yeah,
okay.
M-A-R-I-S-S-A.
Okay, Marisa.
Yes.
Can you give me your last name?
H-A-Y-N-E-S.
Okay, let me write this out real quick. Marisa. Now tell me the last name. I'm not worried about the spelling.
It's Haynes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Marisa is a green spiritual person from her first name. Green spiritual people, their nature on the good side is to be very balanced, fair, peaceful, and lawful. They make good lawyers, architects, environmentalists. And on the negative side, they really have to watch out for creating a bad attitude and being callous at different times towards other people's feelings. And now, what I also see, she's a double flesh mental person and a flesh spiritual person. She has the flesh spectrum attuned to about four of her 7 centers. So I'd say she probably likes things real neat, clean, and organized and in harmony.
Mm-hmm.
And the musical field would be good for her. Money management of flesh spectrum spiritual people, and especially.
Well, I'm sorry. Dang it. Okay, sorry about that. Go ahead.
And Marisa Haynes.
Mm-hmm.
She got a lot of yellow towards the last part of her personality, which is to be friendly and cheerful, and she has a friendly heart. She has a friendly heart. Her emotional romantic colors, if there isn't any nicknames I know about, is in the red spectrum, the purple spectrum, and I think that's about it. Yes, those two. Can we ask her what her favorite color is?
Purple.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of your emotional center colors. You don't have any purple letters in your name, which are B, I, P's, and W's. And I do say in my book that most women pick their emotional center color as their favorite color.
Okay, hold it. Let me stop you there. Her nickname is Marcy with an I.
That I doesn't sound though.
Okay.
Marcy, right? Marcy. No,
Marcy.
It doesn't sound.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right.
No, it does not sound.
Okay.
Like I say, you have to do your name phonetically.
Okay.
And I'm glad you brought that up. If you get the book, do not skip any pages, because otherwise you're going to analyze your name wrong. The first part of the book tells you how to analyze your name phonetically, and if letters are silent, and for example, to the name Carol,
right?
That C doesn't sound a C; it sounds a K. So so you would analyze that C as a orange letter, not a red letter.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hate to interrupt you. She says it's Marcy with a Y, so I thought it was with an I. All these years.
Marcy? Say it again.
Marcy with a Y at the end.
Well, that last letter sounds a C to me, doesn't it?
M-A-R-C-Y.
Yeah, but Marcy.
Yeah.
See where that
yeah, I see it. I see what you're saying. I see it. Okay.
Okay. Well,
okay,
now that changes it, because that makes red isn't her one of her emotional center colors. It's one of her heart center colors. And
sorry about that. Okay, yeah.
Her glamour, sexy center color. Now, our sexual center is just not our center of being sexual. It's also what I call your grounding survival center, where you have to ground yourself to survive very tough situations. For example, if you were to lose your job and your car broke down, you have to say, hey, I got to forget about everything else and figure out how I'm going to take care of this problem, you know, and survive this situation. So, but she looks very sexy and dramatic in her favorite reds and yellows. And the other thing I usually ask people is not only what their favorite color is. I ask them those 7 centers. Let me give you a description of the 7 centers. Okay, our spiritual center, which is where the is called the crown chakra, or where your pineal endocrine gland is. It's where our spirituality of being moral, doing the right moral thing. It's also where our creative genius is. Our cheerful, happy personality. Okay. The function of the next one down is your mental center, pituitary, or what the Easterns call the broad chakra. That's where we make our good common sense, practical, intellectual decisions. And now let's go down to the next one. Your vocal center is for, being harmonious, whether you're a singer or ventriloquist, or just being harmonious with yourself or with other people and getting along with them. Okay, let's go the next one down. Your heart center there, your major immune system thymus gland. It's also where we get our kindness and our compassion and forgiveness, and it's also our physical center of being physical and exercise. All right, now let's go down. The next one is your control center, your adrenals, your power. Being in control most of the time, empowered, businesslike, is the color of being a little more civilized and cultured. And so we'll go down to the next one, which is your emotional center color. Where you get your feelings of emotions, romance, contentment, relaxation. So those are the type of people that cultivate that center, that project those things. Now the last one is your sexual center, which, where we are stimulated sexually, or we're good survivors and know how to survive those tough survival situations I talked about a little bit ago, when things get really bad for us and we have to say, hey, I've got to ground myself and survive the situation. often you hear the word sexy, earthy black dress or something, you know, where you become, the word earthy is kind of a grounding sort of personality trait where you have to become earthy and ground yourself. Okay. So of those 7 centers, we can ask Marcia or anybody listening, which one of those 7 centers do you think you've operated off the most and cultivated the most? And that will usually tell me what center they have cultivated and maybe their favorite colors. And it also tells me possibly which one of their other 7 centers they maybe need to cultivate more. Our seven centers are like gears in a pot. We need to balance them out. We need to cultivate all of them to a certain degree. So I don't know if you want to ask Marcy what centers she's operate off of.
What centers you operate off of, Marisa?
What's that?
I just asked her. She's listening.
Okay.
We'll see if she answers. In the meantime, I've got somebody else that would like to do it, but they don't want their name mentioned on the air. So I'm gonna turn the live mics off, and I'll give you the names. The name, all right?
Okay.
I'm gonna go and shut the live mics off, you guys. I'll be back. Okay, now they can't hear me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, her name is Patricia.
Okay.
Muse, M-U-S-E.
Say that again.
M-U-S-E.
Muse. Okay.
And her nickname is Tisa. T-E-S-S-A.
Say that once again.
Tisa. T-E-S-S-A.
No. She got a lot of green letters in her name.
Okay, I'm gonna go live again. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right, guys, we're back live, and he's gonna go ahead and we'll wait for let Marisa answer, but we're gonna let him go ahead and do the second name, which we're not gonna release on the air. All right, go ahead.
Okay. She is a purple spiritual person. Purple spiritual people on the good side is to be very civilized, very cultured, very loyal, dedicated, very detail-oriented. They make good writers, antique dealers, cultural historians. But what I'm seeing about her name is she's got a lot of centers attuned to the green spectrum. And as I was talking earlier, green spiritual people, they make good lawyers, architects, environmentalists. They usually like quiet, green environments, like being in the trees or in a garden. They have to be careful not to, instead of being peaceful and balanced and fair to other people, they need to be careful not to become callous towards other people and have an attitude problem. And she has a lot of yellows too, which some of her centers are tuned to yellow, so she can be very logical and intellectual. Now, I don't know which one of those 7 centers we talked about that believes she's cultivated, if she heard me explain them.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the things I'd ask her if she was ever interested in writing, or becoming a lawyer, an architect. Most of your most famous green people are architects. Peacemakers. If you look at in my book, you'll see that most of the people that won the Peace Prize in Nobel Peace Prize are green spiritual people. So here again, Muse. So I would say red is one of the colors that will relax her for decorating a room. She'll look very feminine and relaxed and romantic in her favorite red spectrum colors.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, cool. She says yes to all 3.
She says all 3?
Yep.
Good.
And Marisa's back, and she says that her CV color is blue a lot.
Or what color?
Blue.
is her favorite color?
Yeah.
It's her vocal and her control center. So, what she's telling me that she has ability a lot of times to be very harmonious in a soulful sort of way, and also Haynes, and also very businesslike in blues in a very soulful sort of way.
Okay.
And now, if blue is her favorite color, she probably could do very well, like in decorating a home, interior design, clothes stylists. Blue people I show in my book, they make the best interior decorators, clothes stylists, because they have a sense of beauty and style and serenity.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
But if blue is her favorite color, from that last name that you gave me earlier, that's her vocal and her power color. It affects 2 of her centers.
Cool. Cool. And the last one we talked about, she said she missed her CV color. What can you tell me her CV color?
Which color?
The CV color.
I didn't quite understand that. Could you say that once again?
The center, the CV color, the center, I guess it's the center color?
Oh, the center color? Are
Yeah.
you talking about, okay, your heart center or your control center?
The control center, I think.
Yeah. Well, her power color is in the orange spectrum and the blues.
Okay.
So if she were to go for a job, I would recommend she wear a very formal, like business sort of outfit in her favorite orange spectrum colors, or blue, or combo. And that's the other thing. If you look in my book, you'll see I've counseled people when they go for job interviews.
Mm-hmm.
When you go for a job interview, you can actually pre-read the person that's going to be interviewing's mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you analyze their name, once you know their name, you'll be able to analyze their name and determine what character traits that person puts a lot of value on. And then when you go into the interview, you start saying, you start keying on those character attributes, and that interviewer is going to say, oh, that person thinks like me. I like them. That's what I'm looking for.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I've got quotes on that in my book, where this one lady went in for a job for an interview at a hospital, and she had both the ladies interviewing her shaking their head yes to everything she said. And they had first warned her it'd probably be a couple of weeks before they determined who they were going to hire, but they called her about 2 days later, and she got the job.
Fantastic. Wow. I'm gonna definitely get your books. I want to read up on this stuff. This is great.
Yeah, well, here again, I could not have made this up. It's all facts and figures that have been documented for hundreds of years. So, and it's just not something I made up. It's something I've discovered, but it's been there all along, and we just haven't known about it.
So do you do readings with people like all the time? Is that what you do now?
Oh, yeah. I've done thousands of them, and that's the other thing why I don't mean to sound arrogant, but I'm totally convinced that this theory is absolutely the most accurate philosophy in determining people's character traits.
This is incredible. I mean, mine was spot on. And I think I think Maurice's was spot on too, and so was Ruby.
Yeah,
that's what she goes by on here. This has been incredible. What can you tell people? Like you just told, you just spent like an hour telling us what makes what you do so different. What was the response you got from? Yeah, let's do that, because there's so many people out doing numbers and all this stuff. What's been the response that you've gotten from like all the other people that do similar work?
Well, to be honest, not too much. I usually get it seems like 90% of the time they ask me, is this the same as just like numerology or astrology?
Right.
And does it tie in? And I told them, no, it's just different. I have seen some similarities between my philosophy as far as careers go with maybe astrology a little bit, but I pretty much have to separate my philosophy from all the rest. It's different. Here's the other big thing. Okay, a lot of people that do when you were born, numerology, the date you were born, or astrology, the date you were born, the hour you were born. Well, that was just one period in your lifetime. But your name, you've been called your name your whole life thousands of times over and over and over. So the example I give is, let's say the first day of your life, you were fed rice. But the rest of your life, you were fed potatoes. Which one of those two foods do you think is going to affect your health or the vitamins you're going to get from those two different foods? The one that you ate the whole rest of your life, or the one that you just ate on the first day you were born?
That makes a lot of sense.
You see the logic?
Yeah.
You are over and over and over. So you're getting these subliminal wavelength vibrations that are going into the inner ear cochlea gland, to your thalamus gland, which I call the grand central station gland of the brain, that sorts it to these 7 centers. You have water all through your body, you have the crystals in your inner ear, and it's laying the foundation of your personality, character traits, and talents of all these 7 centers over and over and over.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Once more time, where can we get your book, sir?
Okay. Just call pound 250 on a cell phone. You have to do it on a cell phone. You got to hit the pound symbol and then 250. It'll ask you for the keywords. And the keywords you say is beautiful colors. Then it'll say, can we send you a text? And you say, yeah. And they'll send you a text link to my ebook on Amazon. The top link will be the ebook to Amazon, and the bottom one will be to my website where you can get the paperback. Now, we did have the paperback on Amazon, but we completely sold out. So depending on which one you want, you either hit the ebook on the top link or the paperback. That'll go to my website, and you can pay through maybe PayPal or your credit card or something. And now the only thing about the paperback right now, there'll probably be a little bit of a wait time because we're having new books printed up.
Sure. And what's your website again, sir?
I have 2 of them, namecolorology.com or mynameandcolors.com.
Okay.
But that link will be on that pound 250 number that you call.
Okay.
Okay,
fair enough. Thank you so much. It was wonderful having you on.
Well, thank you very much for having me on. I'm sorry about the sore throat, and I kind of sometimes had problems coming up with words because it's hard to talk right now, but I really appreciate you having me on.
Not a problem. I'd love to get you on again at some point if that's okay, sir.
Okay, yeah, if there's anything in particular that people want to know about, whether decorating their homes or what. Oh, also we didn't talk about what colors to wear to project those 7 images.
Okay.
So there's so many. Your name affects every aspect of your life.
Okay, I got one more thing. The gal that I called into you privately says, "Don't let him go till he explains Red and Me and the Who Man."
Say that once again.
She says, "Don't let him go till he explains Red and Me and the Who Man."
I still didn't get it, but
the color red for her.
If anybody wants to get a hold of me for me to clarify anything about their names, they can reach me through my website, or I think my number's on there.
Okay, fair enough. That's good, Ruby. Yeah, go ahead and do that. That'll be easier. Maybe you can, get a more clear thing or whatever you need. All right.
When I counsel somebody, we analyze every bit of their name.
Okay.
It's hard to do it real quick on a show like this.
Absolutely.
We can spend too much time on one particular name.
Absolutely.
I really break it down when I deal with people one-on-one.
Absolutely. Well, once again, thank you, and I would love to have you on, another time as well to do this again, because this was fun.
Okay, well, let me say this.
Yes, sir.
If you're interested in finding out why aliens are more advanced than us, I have philosophies on that.
Okay.
And all kinds of stuff that I know you've talked about on some of your other shows.
We can do that.
Yeah.
Not a problem. Absolutely. 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 Okay, fair enough. All right. Well, thank you very much, and you get well, okay?
Thank you very much. You too, huh?
Yeah. All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, that was pretty fun. Got my numbers done. Got some audience numbers done. Had the phone die. Like I said, if it's not, like every time I go on a microphone like this, if it's not the phone cutting off, it's something in the studio falling. Either the phone falls, the mic falls, or something behind me falls down or something. But it always happens. Anyway, that was a great show, guys, and I'm glad you guys were here. We're going to be on Friday this week. Hopefully that'll be the end of the extra shows, but I'm thinking about maybe going 4 days a week. So I've been kind of playing with the scheduling and seeing how it works out with the extra work that I have on the side too. And we may be going 4 days a week starting in November. We'll see. But our good friend Jared Murphy is going to be with us on Friday. He is the non-aliens guy who has discussed that, he doesn't think that aliens created a lot of this stuff in ancient history. But he has made a trip to Arizona to try and see those cool caves that I talked about a while back. About the giants that were in the cave on the side of the Grand Canyon, and so he kind of made a trip to the Grand Canyon and stuff, and he's back now, so he wants to talk about that. So he's going to be coming on Friday at 6:30, our usual time. And again, if you like the show, share it with 5 people. If you didn't like the show, share it with 5 people. We're trying to get the word out, and I just want to let you guys know the word is you guys are doing a great job. I mean, our numbers have jumped. To give you an idea, last month they jumped by 200 downloads. This month they've jumped by 270 downloads. So we're really getting there. We're getting there. The only issue I have right now is YouTube, because nobody can find us, and I don't care how you try, how you search, how you Google, it's not going to happen. The only way to do that is you need to go to the radio website, www.californiahauntsradio.com, and click on the YouTube video, that link video that's on the front page of the website. Then you go to the YouTube page. The YouTube page for California Haunts Radio has everything on there. It's got the last, we're on our 2nd season right now, so it's got like 75 shows on there for you to choose from. You can click on any of those and subscribe. The more subscribers we get, we're going to get a dedicated URL on YouTube. But we can't do that until we have a certain number of subscribers. And right now we're not there. So like I said, there's no way to find us on YouTube. So the best way to find us is www.californiahauntsradio.com. Also, this group is nonprofit. My team's nonprofit. All this comes out of my pocket. So, I'm paying for internet. I'm paying for the StreamYard service to stream this thing. And, the mics and all the goodies you see, the backdrops and the computer and all this stuff. It's all out of my pocket. And if you could help us out a little bit, because we want to keep bringing these good quality shows to you, that would be at paypal.me/California Haunts. It's just simple. $5, $6, $10, whatever, Doesn't have to be an arm and a leg, but just something to help us out a little bit to keep these shows on the air. In the meantime, I want to thank you guys for coming tonight. It was fun. And I'm actually going to remember this time to show his information of where to get his books and all that good stuff, because I keep forgetting to do stuff. Sometimes I get, I've got a lot going on, and just like after this, I'm going to have dinner and I have some editing to do for a client. I'm editing an ebook for a client right now. So I'm going to be doing that tonight. So anyway, here you go. And this is the information of his books and where you can get the info. And here we go. Website, name, colorology.com. And Your Name and Colors is the book. He's got 2 other books on this subject. And there's several ways to get them, but I went ahead and just put the book available at Amazon.com. Once again, thank everybody for coming, and I will see you on Friday.